Good morning. How are you? I'm going to apologize right now in case I sneeze. Every time there is a weather change, which there was last night, we had some snow and we had some rain. My sinuses just decide they want to let me know that the weather changed. So I might sneeze a little, but I took my tonic and I'll be fine. So today, what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about creating a buying experience. So, first of all, I want to invite you to something tonight, and I'm going to tell you about that later because many times we don't understand what it's going to take to get a yes from someone. So, good morning. I'm Marla Copal. I help you with your social media marketing, with your lead generation, with your automated systems, and I am a mentor to wherever it is that you got to hang up. Good morning. Thank you for watching. So, here's what I want to talk about creating a buying experience. When you go into the corporate world or some of the other areas for sales or even your MLM, a lot of people spend a lot of time telling you, here's the script, here's what you tell them, and then they will buy. And if they give you an argument, then here's what you say back. That is so rude to human beings, their emotions, their feelings, and their reasons for contacting you. If someone calls you up and says, I saw this and I'm interested, and you immediately go into your script, you have not created a buying experience. All you know when someone contacts you, stops at your booth at a trade show, sees you at a coffee shop and say, hey, tell me about this thing. You got to understand what was it that caught their attention. So when I work a trade show, good morning, I have signs up, right? And I watch people outside the booth and I watch what they're looking at. And I'll say, what caught your attention? Pretty simple, right? I let them lead the conversation. So if it was something about pain management or if it was something about sports performance, I didn't have to go down two random trails to find out what they were interested in. They told me, it's like, oh, my mom has a balance issue. Well, then I'll ask her to describe to me her mom. What's going on? What have you done? What have you tried? That's building an experience and it's building a relationship. I don't say, oh, here, this will work, buy it. Well, you might as well just be in Walmart and buy it a Band Aid off the shelf and you make the choice. So you got to get out of your head and into your heart. You got to get out of what somebody else has told you, and you've got to go back to who you know you can be as a human being. You're empathetic. You have sympathy for others. And yes, you have a high need to make a sale. That high need to make your sale will blow up more sales than you'll ever make. So let me see if I can explain a little more. You want to build a relationship before the sale, and you want to continue the relationship after the sale. So if you don't know enough about the person in the beginning to know what their needs are, how do you know how to continue to serve them? You don't. So you're just going to start throwing stuff at them. Now, in general, I don't know everybody that well that's become a customer, but I know enough about what everybody's deciding to buy that when I send emails, I try to tap in to different points of interest. So if somebody's got an issue around sleep, somebody has an issue around pain, so generically, we can initiate conversations in emails and maybe some posts online around those topics. But we still don't want to spam them the solution. We want to ask the question. We want them engaged with, well, is this a concern I have? Wow, I might like to ask this person some questions. Wow, where do I go from here? So the great thing about a buying experience, it's not your sales experience, it's their buying experience. They have to feel confident that they made a good choice for themselves. And if they don't feel confident that they made a good choice for themselves, you know what? you end up having buyer's remorse. And that's the ugliest term in sales of all. So I've watched this in many, many different environments. And I remember once when I was in a sales environment in a corporation, and I could hear the guy next door slamming down sales like crazy. But he was so pressuring everybody who was on the phone. I think they just said yes to get off his back, to get him off their back. And you know what? It proved true because his cancel rate was awful. But here's what happened. He still won the awards because he had the highest numbers. Nobody was measuring him on retention. Well, when you're in your own business, you got to measure your own retention. So you can't slam down sales like he did because the corporation paid the consequence for that oversight on their part. But you, in your business, you've got to stick it out and you've got to build the relationship. So if you want to make a sale in 20 minutes, it may not happen. So let's go back to that trade show that I used to work. I would ask them what they needed. We would look at what they thought was going on. We'd talk about solutions. We'd talk about what they tried. And I would give them a demonstration of the possibility. And because what I was offering at that time was so foreign to them, I happened to find very, very unique health solutions that are not consumable. It's not about anything that you have to put on your skin or whatever, but I have solutions that people have over the last 15 years that really appreciate. But it takes time. So sometimes they might walk around the trade show and I might see them just an hour before closing and I met them 8 hours ago. Sometimes they'll walk around for an hour and they'll come back and say, wow, your sample made me feel so good. Let's get this over with. Bring this into my life. So at any point in there, do you see where I sold anything? Not really. I engaged in a conversation. I built a relationship. They trusted my information. They trusted their experience. Good morning. And in trusting themselves to be able to assess the value they got, they ended up making a purchase. And many of them are still my clients today. So let's go back to the situation where you're selling your coaching or you're selling your systems or you're selling other products, or you're trying to enroll people in an MLM company. You don't want to get into going too fast because you could end up with getting a buyer's remorse. You really have to spend that time. Why are they leaving the last company? What did they think would work and what didn't work? And then how do they think this new company or this new product will be different? They may be buying you. They may be buying your leadership, and it may have nothing to do with the product. Interesting thought, right? So you always want to know, what are they looking at buying when they are opening a buying conversation? You know, we get excited, all of us do, if we're in sales. We get excited when somebody calls and say, hey, I saw this thing you have. Tell me about it. Stop. That's them leading the conversation. You need to let them divulge a little more about themselves. So you'll say, wow, I'm really excited you called. What is it that attracted you to have this conversation with me? So now you need to find out, was it the product? Was it the description of the product or the solution? Or was it you? They wanted to connect with you. Well, if they wanted to connect with you, you better take that time to connect. Because I'll tell you, I believe 90% of the time they're wanting to connect with the human being that they built, that they saw that they could build a relationship with. And don't disappoint them. Please don't disappoint them. So now you have to find out about them, their emotions, and you have to understand, how do you support their emotions? When they feel emotionally connected with you, then and only then are they ready to receive some facts. So what's coming to mind this morning is a simple explanation, because I used to sell car and personal auto insurance, and everybody thinks, oh, that's just a cut and dry deal. No, it is not. because people always call you for insurance after they've had a disappointment with a claims adjuster. They've had a disappointment with how their children got treated by the agent when they've called to put in a claim. They get disappointed by having felt like the last person sold them an inappropriate policy, not enough. All of those things are going on. People buy when they're in an emotional situation. It's not a pragmatic choice to buy. So now you go take a health product. Somebody's wanting to figure out what you've got because they want to either stop falling, they want better sports performance, they want better circulation, they want less pain, they want better sleep. So when somebody calls you, you don't get excited yet. You get excited to meet the person, but you don't get excited about the sale. You get excited about the person and you say, "Oh, I'm so glad you called. Hey, what's your inspiration today to give me a call? What is it that you're looking at? What are you thinking?" And sometimes people don't divulge that right away because they don't know themselves. They were moved. Somehow they were moved and they took that big step to call you, or they took that big step to message you. Now, that is the door that you can either create it, make it wide open, or you can slam it shut. And I see more people slam it shut than they create it open. So what I want to talk to you about today, and have been talking to you about, is how you create a buying experience. This is build the relationship, meet the person, see what their needs are. And the ultimate in sales is to be able to say, I don't think I have that solution. I don't think I have that solution. But if you don't mind, I'll kind of look into this and see what it is that might help you, and I'll get back with you. When you've done that, you've lost the whole fear around sales, because you know that maybe a sale isn't going to be made. You know what? You find a solution for that person, you share it, you refer them to whoever has that solution for them. They will always remember you. They will always remember you. And when they remember you, they'll find you again, and they'll want you to help them. I have turned away more business on the first or the second call because I didn't have the answer, and it's come back to me threefold in all my years I've been in sales. So I can tell you, it's hard to know this and to feel this before you've ever had that experience. But when you've had that experience, it's so easier to begin to trust. So what I invite you into in each buying experience, that somebody else comes into your space, they think they want to buy something. They just think they want to buy something. You've got to create a buying experience for them where they then say, "Huh, I like this person. I think this solution will work for me. I'm going to try it." And then you don't drool all over them as you write up the sale. You just talk to them about how you're going to support them afterwards. And what other information would they like? And do they know? And then you go for referrals. Do you know if there's anybody else? What I'm going to say right now is create the buying experience. It's not about sales. It's about creating the buying experience. And I would like you to add to your knowledge for creating buying experiences by joining me tonight. This is Wednesday, October 27th, and I have the link in the comments for you to join me and listen to 9 steps to getting yeses while you're having this buying experience. And Stacy Hall is a fantastic mentor to many of you to look at what are the additional skills you need to bring forward to make those buying experiences rich enough for your buyer to become a true buyer with some money on the line. So get a hold of, look at the link here, or you can contact me, successwithmarla.com. And I'd appreciate it if you would all follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel because there's more and more, and there's more coming. I've got some new ideas I'm going to implement. So let's get on board and let's see how we can support each other. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.